Hello everyone, welcome to the GATE Engineering online learning classes. Today we are going to do quick revision on KVL and mass analysis, and you are very familiar about the KVL, that is nothing but the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So we will see what is KVL and when we can apply it. So KVL is applicable in closed path only when we have a given circuit like this. So we can apply KVL here because this is complete closed path. Like that, if we write A one node, we can write B on another node and C and D on other node. So all these nodes are connected and we are reaching at the point A. So this is a closed path. So we can apply KVL here. If we break any one branch of this circuit, then we can apply the KVL on the circuit. So KVL states the algebraic sum of all voltage around a closed path should be 0, and KVL can be applied in either direction, either clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. We can apply any direction. This is anti-clockwise and this is the clockwise. So we will start the KVL in this circuit, the clockwise direction. We can write minus V1 because we are taking the convention that we are getting first. So in this across voltage across this element is V1, and first we are getting the minus in applying the KVL in the clockwise direction. So minus V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4 is equal to 0. Or in other terms, we can write V1 is equal to V2 plus V3 plus V4. Now we will find out the voltage across the resistor R1, voltage across the resistor R2, and voltage across the resistor R3 in this question when applied voltage is 45 volt, and we will have to use the KVL in this circuit. So what we can do, we can consider current in this circuit is I, and current I will be in same, current I will be the same in all these three resistors. So if we apply the KVL, so here we are getting the first minus sign, so we can write minus 45 plus 5I1 or plus 5I plus 10I plus 7.5I is equal to 0. If we compute the current here, we will get I is equal to minus 45 divided by 22.5. We will get 45 divided by 22.5. This is plus. So we will get 2 ampere current in this circuit. So current is the 2 ampere and voltage V23. That means voltage across the resistor R1 is, let us consider V23 because node elements are 2 and 3. That is will be 2 into 5, that is 10 10 volt. Similarly, voltage across the 3-4 will be V34, that will be I into R, 2 into 10 is 20. Similarly, voltage V41 will be 7.5 into 2 is 15 volts. Now we'll see another problem in which we have to compute the V0 and I in the circuit, and I is the current through the branch 2 ohm, and V0 is the voltage independent voltage to V0, and which is equal to 6 into current in the 6 ohm branch. So if we consider current I is flowing in this loop because it is closed loop and we have only one loop here, so we will get minus sign is here first, so we can write minus 8 plus 2I plus 2V0 minus 4 plus 6I, because here current is entering in this branch is I, and this direction will be plus and minus for the current, and voltage across the 6 ohm is plus minus V0 in opposite direction. So another expression from this will be V0 is equal to minus 6I. So we have two unknowns I and V0, and we can easily compute the value of V0 and I. After solving this equation 1 and equation 2, we can get, and values are I equal to minus 3 ampere and V0 equal to 18 volt. And this equation we can write like this also: minus 8 plus 2I plus 2V0 minus 4 minus V0 is equal to 0. So V0 is equal to minus 6I, you can see. Now we'll see mesh analysis. What is mesh analysis? This is another very important topic to analyze the network circuit. Without analysis of the mesh, we can't find out the current and voltage. I mean, it is very difficult to find out the voltage and current in little complex circuit. So mesh analysis is based on the KVL. We apply the KVL in the loop, but it has some conditions. Mesh is a loop. Mesh is nothing but a loop in a planar circuit that doesn't enclose any other loop within it. That means if we have some network like this, if we have a network like this, so this is one mesh, this is another mesh, but this is not a mesh. This is not a complete mesh, because here you can understand mesh is a loop in a planar circuit that doesn't enclose any other loop within it. So this is not a complete mesh, but this is a super mesh. We can say that it is a super mesh, but we have two mesh. One is the left one, second one is the right one, and this is complete one is a super mesh. So each branch belongs to the at most two number of meshes. So here we have one branch, it consists only one mesh. This branch consists of the two meshes. Okay. And other thing is that mesh currents are the unknown parameters. Mesh currents are the unknown parameters that we will have to find out using the mesh analysis. So in this circuit, if we consider current I1 is flowing in this loop, in this mesh, and current I2 is flowing in this mesh. So current in this branch is I1, and current in this branch will be sum of two branches, I1 plus I2. Okay. If current will flow in the opposite direction, then current will be I1 minus I2 in this branch. So let's understand in more detail here. The branch current is the same as the mesh current if the branch belongs to one mesh, and if the branch belongs to two meshes, the branch current is difference between the two mesh currents. Now we can understand this last 2 points here in more details with this circuit diagram. So here you can see in this circuit we have three meshes. This is a mesh 1, this is a mesh 2, and this is a mesh 3. In mesh 1 we have a current I1, in mesh 2 we have a current I2, and in mesh 3 we have current I3. And here we can see that current across the R11 is the I1 because this resistor is consisting with only one mesh. And R13 is R13 branch. Our resistance R13 is in combined. Resistor R13 is coming in the mesh 1 and mesh 2. So current in this R13 will be I1 minus I3. So difference of the two mesh current. Similarly, R12 resistance R12 is coming in the two meshes, one mesh 1 and mesh 2. So current will be I1 minus I2. So this is difference of two mesh currents. So now you can understand if the branch belong to two meshes, two branch current is the difference between two mesh currents. Now we'll see if we apply the KVL in the first loop, we will apply the KVL in all these loops separately, and we will find out the loop currents or mesh current. So minus V1 plus R11 I1 plus I1 minus I3 into R13 plus I1 minus I2 into R12. So this is the equation, and we can further simplify, and we will get V1 equal to I1 R11 plus R13 plus R12 minus R12 I2 minus R13 I3. So this is the expression we got from the first KVL. Now if we apply the mesh KVL in mesh 2, that means in this loop, we will get current in this R23 will be I2 minus I3. So I2 minus I3 R23. Current in the R22 is the I2, so it is I2 R22. The plus sign is coming first, so we are writing plus V2. And current in the R12 is the I2 minus I1. So this is I2 minus I1 R12, and we can simplify in the coefficient of I1, I2, and I3, and we are getting a new equation from the mesh 2. Now we'll apply the KVL in mesh 3. So now we'll apply the KVL in mesh 3, and in this mesh we can see that R33 consists of only R13 belong only the one mesh, that is the I3 or third mesh. Current in the R33 is the I3, so we can write I3 R33 plus I3 minus I2 into R23 plus I3 minus I1 R13 is equal to 0, and we are getting a third equation. So we have three equations from three different meshes. After analysis of this, we can find out the value of I1, I2, and I3. I told you in the beginning, in the mesh currents, unknown parameters are the currents of the circuit. So I1, I2, and I3 are the unknown parameters that we can easily find out by three equations. One equation we got from the mesh 1, second equation we got from mesh 2, third equation we got from mesh 3. Now we'll see another problem that is with the dependent sources. So here you can see that we have a one dependent source, that is the, you can see this is the voltage source inside the diamond. We plus and minus are given, so this is the voltage source, but its value, is depending on the Ix, so Rx, Ix. So we can see the current control, because this current is controlling this source, so this is the current controlled voltage source. Now if we apply the KVL, so you will get the same equation for the mesh 1 and you will get the same equation for mesh 3 as previous example. Now you will get different equations for the mesh 2 only. So we will see what we are getting for the mesh 2. In mesh 2, if we apply, in mesh 2 we will get, I will write here I2 minus I3 in this branch. We are starting mesh from here. We are moving like this. Okay. So I2 minus I3 into R23 plus I2 into R22 plus Rx Ix plus R12 I2 minus I1 is equal to 0. If we simplify it further, we will get the same expression. Rx Ix will be equal to I1 R12 plus I2 into minus I2 into R12 plus R2 plus R22 plus I3 R3. After simplifying this, we will get this expression. And we will get the same expression for the mesh 3, just like previous example. Now we have three equations. We have three equations from three mesh, but we have four variables. One is I1, second one is I2, third one is I3, and fourth one is the Ix also. So we require one more equation. We can't solve the four variable. We can find out the value of the four variable with three equations only. So we require one more equation we can find out from here, because this is the Ix. We can get the relation Ix in terms of the I1 and I3, and you know current in the branch R13 is I1 minus I3, which is nothing but equal to Ix. So we have fourth equation, that is Ix equal to I1 minus I3. Now we can easily simplify all these three equations. We can substitute Ix here, so we can get three equations with three variables, and we can easily find out the value of I1 and I2 and I3 in this example. Now we'll see another example with the help of voltage control voltage source. In all these examples, we are assuming like that we know the value of V1, V2, voltage's value and resistance value. We don't know the value of the current. We know what is R11, we know what is R12, we know R13, R23, R22, or R31, all these three, all the resistance and voltage value. But we don't know what is the current. So now same way we will apply here again. KVL in mesh 1, KVL in mesh 2, KVL in mesh 3. So in mesh 1, we'll get the same equation as previous two examples. And current mesh equation for the mesh 3 will get same as previous example, only equation will change here, because here we have voltage controlled voltage source. This is the voltage source and it is controlling by Vx, that is the voltage control. So we can write voltage controlled voltage source. Now we apply the KVL in the mesh 2. We will get KVX is equal to I1 R12 minus I2 R13 plus R23 plus R22 plus I3 into R23, that we are getting. And equation 1 is similar to the previous one, and equation 3 is similar to previous one again. But now here we have three equations again, but four variables. Fourth one is now Vx. In the last example, we had fourth variable was Ix. Now we have fourth variable is Vx. And in this diagram, we have given Vx is across the voltage across the resistor R13. Voltage across the resistor R13, according to the Ohm's law, Vx will be equal to current in the R13, that is nothing but I1 minus I3 into R13. According to Ohm's law, Vx will be I1 minus I3 into R13, and we can find out the value of the current I1, I2, and I3, because four equations we have given, and we can substitute Vx value in this equation. Then we will get three equations for three variables, and we can easily compute the value of I1, I2, and I3. Now we will consider another example in which we have given current control current source. Here you can see that this is the diagram for current source, and it is controlling by the Ix. So this is the current controlled current source. Okay, so now this problem is little different. In this problem, what we can do, we can't apply the KVL in mesh 1 and mesh 2 separately because we don't know voltage across this dependent source. We don't have voltage. We don't know what is the voltage across the dependent source. When we don't know the voltage in any branch, we can't apply the KVL. So what we can do, we'll apply the super mesh in this case. We'll apply the super mesh in this case. Instead of applying the mesh analysis in mesh 1 and mesh 2, instead of applying the KVL in mesh 1 and mesh 2, we'll apply the super mesh in mesh 1 and 2, combination of the mesh 1 and 2. So that is written here. Now we'll see, after applying the KVL in the super mesh, we'll get V1 minus V2 is equal to I1 into R11 plus R13 plus okay, I will write here so you can get the idea. What we will get, minus V1 here plus I1 into R11 plus I1 minus I3 into R13 plus R23, I mean I2 minus I3 into R23. Because current in this branch is the I2 minus I3. Here you can see the I2 is going in this direction, I3 is coming in this direction. So I2 minus I3, I23 plus I2 R22 plus V2 is equal to 0. If we solve it, if we simplify it, we will get V1 minus V2 is equal to all these things. If we switch the side of voltages, so we can write V1 minus V2 is equal to I1, which is R1 into R11 plus R13. So we can write in this way. So this is the one equation. And second equation we can get from the mesh 3. That is similar to previous one. So here we are getting the I1 R13 plus I2 R23 minus I3 R13 plus R23 plus R33, which is equal to 0. Now what we will do? We have only two equations, but we have three variables. Okay. And we have not included yet any dependent source in this expression. So current in the dependent source is KIX. Current in the dependent source is KIX, which is nothing but equal to I1 minus I2. So current KIX is equal to I1 minus I2. Now what we got? We got four variable with these three equations. So we require IX, and IX is nothing but I1 minus I3. I1 minus I3. So if we solve all these three, so here we are getting K into I1 minus I3 equal to I1 minus I2. So we have three equations. One is this one is this one, and one is the previous one with three unknown variables I1, I2, and I3. We can easily solve it, and we can find out the value of I1, I2, and I3 by solving all these colored three equations. Now, fourth case is the voltage controlled current source. Here, this is the current source. It is controlled by the voltage Vx, and this voltage Vx is the voltage Vx across the resistor R13. And here, again, we can't apply the mesh in KVL in the mesh 1 and mesh 2. We'll apply the super mesh, and that will be the same as the previous one. We'll get the same as the previous one, and KVL equation for the mesh 3 will also be the same. Only difference will be here. Here, difference is nothing but Gx into Vx is equal to I1 minus I2. So Gx Vx is nothing but the current, because arrow direction is given. So this Gx Vx is the value of the current, which is equal to I1 minus I2. And we can write Vx is nothing but, from here we can write I1 minus I3 into R13. And if we substitute this thing in this expression, we will get third equation. Gx into R13 into I1 minus I3. This expression we are substituting in this expression, and we are getting third equation. And after solving all these equations, we can find out the value of current I1, I2, and I3. Now we'll see one example here. We'll see one example for finding the value of I1, I2 in the circuit. If controlling parameter AX, this is the controlling parameter, is 2Ix in one case and 2Vx in another case. So it means this is the voltage source we can see. In one case, first case, it will become current controlled voltage source. In second case, it will be voltage controlled voltage source. Because AX is equal to 2Ix, so current controlled voltage source, and AX equal to 2Vx, it will become voltage controlled voltage source. It is clear from here it is voltage source, because plus and minus polarity is given inside the diamond. So now we'll solve this problem, and if we apply the KVL in this equation, and in this equation, we will get expression which is nothing but mass 1 KVL equation will be 7I1 minus 5I2 minus Ax minus 2 is equal to 0. And if we apply the KVL in the mass 2, we will get new equation, that is a 3 plus 4 plus 5, that is 12I2, and minus 5I1 minus 6 is equal to 0. Now, if we solve these two equations, so we require one more equations for finding out the value of Ax, and Ax is given as, in first case, Ax is given 2Ix, and you know Ix is current in across this branch, which is equal to I2. Ix is equal to I2 in this expression. So Ix equal to I2 and Ax equal to 2I2 will become, and if we substitute value of Ax here, that is nothing but 2I2. So we will get new expression, that will be 7I1 minus 7I2 minus 2 equal to 0. And if we solve equation this and this, we will get value of I1 and I2. Now in second case, we have Ax equal to 2Vx and Ax equal to 2Vx, and Vx is this one, voltage across the 5 ohm resistance, and we will get expression Vx equal to, and current in this branch is I1 minus I2. So voltage across the 5 ohm will be 5 into I1 minus I2. Okay. Now we have two equations. One is this one is this one. Here we substitute Ax equal to 2Vx, or we can write Ax equal to 10 into I1 minus I2. Okay. So when we solve this equation, we are getting another equation. If we solve equation B and D, we will get value of I1 and I2. This is the solution for the problem. So in today's video, we discuss about the KVL, where we can apply, how we can apply. After that, we have seen the mass analysis in different cases, in independent sources. And when we have given some dependent sources also, like current control current source, current control voltage source, voltage control voltage source, voltage control current source. And we have solved some numerical problem also for approaching such kind of the problem, for handling such kind of the problem. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this video.